Hello everyone, nice to see you again on my channel. You ever been in a moment where you see her across the room? She's stunning, magnetic, almost untouchable, and something inside you says, she's out of my league. Maybe she doesn't notice you. Maybe she does, but it's lukewarm. No spark. And you start telling yourself this story, that if she's not interested now, there's no chance. But here's the twist. Most guys don't understand that attraction doesn't have to exist instantly. It can be created over time through the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and most importantly, through the way you see her. So today, we're diving into something deeper. We're not just talking about how to get a girl to like you. We're talking about how to build the kind of presence, the kind of communication style that reaches into a woman's psychology, not to manipulate, but to connect authentically, genuinely, even if right now she's not interested. Now, I'm not going to give you a list, no tricks, no lines, no games. This is a conversation about energy, timing, masculinity, and the subtle ways women pick up on the way a man sees the world and sees them. Let's begin with this. Interest isn't binary. It's fluid. A woman who seems disinterested today could be deeply drawn to you a week from now, not because she changed, but because you stopped trying to prove something and started embodying something. Attraction is less about impressing her and more about becoming someone she wants to be impressed by. So let's imagine you're talking to a woman who seems only halfway there. She's polite, maybe a little distant. Most guys either chase harder or walk away. But what if you didn't do either? What if you just sat in the moment, confident and calm, unbothered by whether she's into you or not? That's the beginning of power, emotional grounding. You talk to her not like someone trying to win her over, but like someone who already respects himself, like someone who's got nothing to lose by being real. You ask her questions not to get her attention, but because you're actually curious. You listen not to respond, but to feel what she's saying, and slowly something happens. Her guard lowers because she's not feeling that desperate pull most men give off. She's feeling your presence, your stillness. See, a woman might be unsure about you at first, but if you show her consistency, depth, and real masculine energy, not performance but presence, that unsure feeling starts to shift. It's not about saying the right things, it's about meaning them. Let's break this down in a real moment. Say you're on a date and the energy feels off. Instead of panicking or pushing harder to make her laugh or feel something, you pause. You acknowledge the tension without trying to escape it. You say something simple like, "You seem a little distracted. Everything okay?" Not accusing, not needy, just observant. That one line, spoken from calm awareness, does more than 1,000 compliments ever could. Why? Because it tells her you see her, and it tells her you're present. Women aren't always attracted to words. They're attracted to the emotion underneath them. If your voice carries calm certainty, if your eyes show genuine interest without expectation, and if your posture says, "I'm good either way," you trigger something ancient inside her. Because the truth is, women crave polarity. They want to feel that masculine presence that doesn't waver, the kind that doesn't need validation, but also doesn't fear intimacy. That's rare. And when you learn to talk to her from that place, whether she's into you or not, you become unforgettable. And here's what most men don't realize. A woman might test you with disinterest. She might give you cold energy, not because she's uninterested, but because she wants to see what's real in you. She wants to feel what you're made of. If you collapse, she knows you were only there for her approval. But if you stay grounded, now she's paying attention. You don't need to chase her. You need to invite her into your world. That means you speak with purpose. You joke because you enjoy it, not because you're trying to win her over. You ask her about her life, but you don't lose yourself in trying to become what she wants. You stay rooted in your values, your mission, your peace. That's the paradox. When you're okay with not getting her, you become the kind of man she wants to get closer to. There's a story I once heard about a man who met a woman in a coffee shop. She was polite, even smiled, but you could tell she wasn't interested. He didn't try to impress her. He just said, "You've got a calm energy. I like that." And then he went back to reading his book. 10 minutes later, she asked him a question. Not because of the compliment, but because of how indifferent he was to the outcome. He wasn't cold, he wasn't rude, he was simply centered. That's what talking to a woman should feel like when you're aligned. It's not a performance, it's a transmission of energy. And if that energy is authentic, grounded, curious, and unapologetically masculine, she feels it. Even if her mind hasn't caught up yet, a lot of attraction happens under the surface. The tone you use, the pauses you allow, the way you hold eye contact, not to intimidate, but to understand. The way you laugh, not loudly but genuinely. The way you ask, what's something people misunderstand about you? And then actually listen. Those little moments create emotional texture, and over time, they shift how she sees you. Even if she wasn't initially interested, she starts to wonder, what's different about him? Not because you did anything flashy, but because you didn't. You stayed still. You stayed real. This is where stoicism plays a powerful role. When you remove the need for approval, when you operate from internal validation, you no longer chase, you invite, you lead. And leadership in conversation isn't about dominating, it's about directing the energy. You sense when the vibe is flat and steer it somewhere deeper. You sense when she's unsure and give her space without pulling away. You create safety without losing mystery. And that right there, that's the sweet spot. You're not just talking to her like a man, you're talking to her like a man who knows who he is. And women feel that. They feel when a man is centered. They feel when he's not trying to perform. They feel when he's not asking, "Do you like me?" but instead offering the silent question, "Do we connect?" That subtle shift in energy changes everything. So next time you're around a woman who seems uninterested, don't shrink, don't chase, don't force anything, just be there fully. Speak to her like you already have peace within yourself, like you're sharing a moment, not trying to take one. Ask her questions that matter. Reflect on things she says. Challenge her gently if something doesn't sit right. Bring a little mischief, a little wisdom, a little calm chaos. And above all, don't try to get her. Just let her feel you. Something most men ignore, emotional rhythm. You know, the flow of how you communicate. Most guys either come in hot, trying to dominate the space with charm, jokes, bravado, or they go the other way, all reserved and passive, afraid to take up any space. But a man who understands rhythm knows how to shift gears. He knows when to lean in with intensity and when to pull back and just observe. You ever notice how the best conversations aren't fast-paced all the time? There's a cadence, a space between words, a silence that isn't awkward, it's magnetic. That's what presence feels like. You allow the space, you trust it. And the crazy part, that space, those moments of stillness, can actually make her feel more connected to you than constant talking ever could. Because here's what she's picking up on, even if she doesn't realize it. You're not trying to fill the silence because you're not uncomfortable with it. And if you're not uncomfortable with silence, it tells her something deep, that you're not uncomfortable with yourself. That's rare, that's attractive, and that's where the magic lives, in the unspoken. Think about it like this. Most men talk to women to create attraction, but the most powerful men, they talk from a place of already being attractive. Not because they're trying to be cool, but because they're already full. They're already grounded. And when you're grounded, you don't need her to react. You're not waiting on her laughter or her compliments or her green lights, and that being is exactly what women crave in a world full of trying. Now let's talk about how to speak, not the words, but the tone. Your voice doesn't need to be loud. It needs to be stable, calm, intentional. Speak from your chest, not your throat. Let your voice land in the space between you like it belongs there. Women don't just hear your voice, they feel it, especially when you're present in it. The moment you ask a woman something like, "What lights you up?" and you mean it, she feels that. She might pause, look at you differently. That's not just a question. That's you reaching beyond the surface, showing her that you're not like the rest. And she might not give you a deep answer right away. That's okay. Stay with it. That kind of question plants a seed, one that grows when she realizes, wow, he actually listens. That's the part guys miss. Listening isn't just about silence, it's about being affected. If she tells you about her day and you say, "That sounds exhausting. How did you handle that?" You're showing her you care without trying to fix her. That's emotional intelligence. That's power. You become someone she feels safe with. And when a woman feels safe, she relaxes. When she relaxes, she opens. And when she opens, that disinterest starts to melt into curiosity. Because here's something no one says enough. Curiosity is more powerful than desire. When a woman is curious about you, she starts imagining you. She starts wondering how you think, how you'd act in certain situations, how you'd hold her, challenge her, protect her. You don't need to create that curiosity. You need to allow it to form. And that happens through patience, depth, and presence. Let's not forget body language either. It matters, but not in a forced way. Don't square your shoulders like a statue. Don't hold your drink like it's a shield. Relax, open your chest. Let your arms fall naturally. Make eye contact, not as a test of dominance, but as a way of saying, "I see you. I'm not afraid to be seen." And when you smile, let it come from a place of warmth, not from trying to be liked, but from actually enjoying the moment. Women feel the difference between a performative smile and a real one. The latter disarms her, the former turns her off. Let me tell you something most men will never understand. Your peace is your power. When you talk to a woman from a peaceful place inside, she senses it. She doesn't have to wonder what you're hiding, because you're not hiding anything. She doesn't have to decode your motives, because they're clear. And in that space, she can finally let her guard down. It's not about being better than other guys. It's about being different. You're not chasing, you're not showing off. You're inviting her into a moment and letting her decide how deep she wants to go. That's what leadership looks like in attraction, not controlling, not manipulating, but leading the energy with presence. Now, if she still isn't interested, and you've shown up fully, authentically, and calmly, that's okay, let her go. Not every woman is meant to see you, and not every woman is in the right season to receive your energy. But you walk away proud, because you didn't abandon yourself. You didn't try to become something just to gain her attention. You were yourself, and that's everything. And here's the twist. Sometimes that quiet exit is what actually makes her circle back. She remembers how she felt around you. She remembers that you didn't need her. And suddenly, you're not just another guy, you're the one she can't quite forget. It's ironic, right? You attract the most when you stop trying to attract. You win when you're not playing to win. You speak less but say more. You ask fewer questions, but they go deeper. You don't chase the moment, you become it. So if you want to attract a woman, even if she's not initially interested, don't change who you are. Deepen who you are. Let your presence speak before your words ever do. Let your calm be louder than your charm. Let your honesty cut through the noise of performance. And most of all, remember this. The way you talk to her isn't just about her. It's about the relationship you have with yourself.